Let's set the stage. The year is 1588, and the wind is blowing hard toward the English Channel. Looking out from the white cliffs of Dover, the horizon is about to fill with the most terrifying sight of the 16th century. King Philip II has dispatched his Invincible Spanish Armada. We're talking about 130 massive galleons, heavily armed and sailing with a single purpose: to conquer England. In this era, naval combat is a brutal, chaotic brawl. You maneuver your heavy wooden ship through thick, blinding black powder smoke, trying to get close enough to smash the enemy hull to splinters. But in our scenario, the Armada isn't going to face a fleet of English sailing ships. Instead, they are sailing dead into the path of a single 100,000-ton nuclear-powered US Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. When 16th century cast iron cannons meet supersonic fighter jets, the physical distance between 1588 and the modern day collapses the moment the first jet leaves the flight deck. Put yourself on the rolling wooden deck of a Spanish galleon. You're holding a heavy iron cannonball. The salt spray is stinging your eyes, and your entire survival depends on catching the right wind to close the combat gap to within a few hundred yards. Now look at the horizon. You see a colossal metallic island that doesn't care about the wind at all. It's moving at 30 knots, violently cleaving through heavy ocean swells directly against the current. The Spanish are sailing into a battle they cannot see, entering a combat zone where the concept of range has been entirely redefined by the ship in their path. This diagram shows the massive gap in reach between these two forces. That tiny dot is the Armada's absolute maximum firing range, about 300 yards. That massive circle sweeping outward from the carrier is its strike radius, projecting lethal power up to 500 nautical miles away. Long before the Spanish ships are even visible to the naked eye, the carrier launches an E-2 Hawkeye. This airborne early warning aircraft uses its massive circular radar dome to scan the ocean and map the enemy fleet from hundreds of miles out. That data feeds straight into the Combat Information Center. Here, illuminated by glowing screens, the commander views the digitized battlefield. There's no guessing where the enemy hides. The radar systems lock onto the position, speed, and heading of all 130 galleons simultaneously. The fight is decided by the data on these screens before the Spanish admiral even realizes there's an enemy ship sharing the ocean. In the real historical timeline, the Spanish Armada wasn't actually destroyed by English cannons. They were severely crippled by massive storms and unfavorable winds. The weather was the deadliest enemy they faced. But weather doesn't dictate terms to a modern supercarrier. With a displacement mass of over 100,000 tons, the Nimitz easily slices through those massive ocean swells without losing its operational capability. Nuclear propulsion and 100,000 tons of steel effectively removed the environment from the strategic equation, turning a once deadly variable into a minor navigational detail. Now the strike sequence begins. The carrier readies its flight deck, packed with FA-18 Super Hornets, preparing to unleash an overwhelming show of force. They launch into the sky, tearing toward the Spanish fleet at supersonic speeds, velocities the 16th century mind couldn't even comprehend, bringing a deafening screech completely invisible to the naked eye. Down below, the Spanish galleons are essentially floating tinderboxes. They are constructed of dry timber sealed with highly flammable pitch and tar, and their bellies are stuffed full of unstable black powder. The Super Hornets drop precision-guided munitions directly onto the Spanish flagships. The targeting is so exact, they can guide payloads straight into those specific lower deck powder magazines. This animation breaks down the physics of the impact. The modern munition easily penetrates the wooden deck, striking the powder magazine on the bottom level and triggering an immediate catastrophic chain reaction explosion that shatters the hull from the inside out. For stragglers surviving the initial air assault, the carrier's escort, a Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser, unleashes a volley of surface-to-surface missiles to clean up the rest. In 1588, it could take hours of sustained cannon fire to sink a massive galleon. In this scenario, those same ships are reduced to floating matchsticks in a matter of seconds. The smoke clears. The 130-ship armada has been entirely dismantled. The ocean is quiet again. And through it all, the carrier commander never even moved within visual range of the destruction. The engagement shifted from a visual duel of wooden hulls into a systematic teardown, where every target was mapped, tracked, and eliminated before the two fleets ever met. If you want to see more historical battle lines get completely shattered, subscribe to Heroes and Arsenals right now. Next time, we're taking modern tactical gear to the frontier. What happens when fully equipped Navy SEALs are deployed to defend the Alamo? Stick around to find out.